Nobody wants to pay taxes, let's be real, but yeah. Joy's paying her taxes. Welcome back to the show. Be sure to subscribe. Let's get right to it. First topic, CNN's Caitlin Collins tried to debunk weather modification, but a cloud seeding CEO shut her down. Go ahead, roll the clip.
When you are accused of engineering the weather and weather modification, what would you say to that?
Yeah, I mean, for one, I think that this is a very consequential technology, right? Not just anybody should be allowed to modify the weather. There should be oversight and transparency. And so,
of course, they're spraying the skies and modifying the weather. I mean, everybody's seen it. You probably just don't even know what's going on, because in order to really know what's going on, you have to actually look into things, right? So everybody's trying to claim this was like a conspiracy for a long time, and they were labeling it a conspiracy, and now basically you have that guy telling you right to your face that, yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. We're modifying the weather. We're spraying stuff into the skies, you know, weird aluminums and aerosols that who knows what it's doing to the people's health, you know. It's sickening that they're even allowed to spray stuff into the sky like that. But yeah, I mean, come on. If you've ever seen one of those big, long cloud stripes in the sky, you know, where it's just a weird line of clouds after a plane just flew over. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing, folks. They're modifying the weather, and, you know, you probably haven't even seen a crystal clear blue day and probably about 15 years, you know, just because they're spraying all the time. I mean, it's very rare you actually get a full day where there's zero spray going on, you know. It starts out nice and blue and it's looking like, oh, it's a pretty nice day. And then all of a sudden you see about 3 or 4 streaks across the sky, and then the sky just turns to complete crap, right? Why? Because they're throwing clouds up there to just basically for no reason. Who knows why? You know, people want to claim global warming, climate change, you know, that's always a thing, but no, they're just doing it because who knows, right? They don't even care about people's health, what they're spraying into the sky. We're going to do it because somebody's making money off it, and we pretty much want everybody, you know, feeling like crap. That's pretty much what's going on, and now this guy's saying it right to your face. So all you CNN people, if you still don't believe it, I mean, what more do you need? What more do you need? But all right, let's get to the next topic. So a journalist in France has been acquitted for claiming, or for defamation, claiming that Brigitte Macron was born a male. I mean, you know, if you just kind of take a look at Brigitte Macron, it will definitely make you wonder, right? But okay, are we pretty much going to put an end to this? Are we just going to go, you know, are we now going forward as she's a he? I mean, I don't know, because you would think that, you know, Macron and his wife, you know, Brigitte would have sued Candace Owens a long time ago, since she pretty much did a whole, you know, like, what do you call it, expose of Brigitte Macron, claiming that she's a man. And apparently Candace Owens even said that Trump called her claiming, hey, can you lay off the whole Brigitte Macron man thing? Because Emmanuel Macron doesn't want to end the whole Ukraine war. He's making it about you talking about his wife, you know, which is insane if that's actually what happened. If Trump had to call Candace Owens to tell her to back off the whole Brigitte Macron deal, then God, I mean, how petty is that for Macron? But seriously, I mean, you just got to pass the eye test, and Brigitte doesn't really pass the eye test, folks. I mean, let me know if you think Brigitte Macron passes the eye test as a woman. I mean, I don't really think so, but hey, I mean, I guess a French court doesn't really think so either, right? Otherwise, you know, this woman would have been sued, or she would have been facing charges or whatever they do in France, but hey, she's been acquitted. All right, let's get to the next topic here. So Joy Behar of The View is claiming that she's not going to be paying her federal taxes. Go ahead, roll the clip.
And I'd like to know, why am I paying federal taxes if they're not going to do anything, by the way? Is there anybody who can tell me that?
Yeah.
If they want the states to take care of everything, I'll pay state taxes and not federal taxes.
Right.
Watch the IRS come after me now.
You gotta love how the ladies of The View will just say any stupid thing to sound tough, like they're going after Trump, like, oh yeah, Trump can come after me, blah, blah, blah. It's just so hilarious. But how much you want to bet that Joy Behar still wants the billionaires to have to pay their federal income tax, right? Oh, Jesus. It's just so funny how if you ever want to trigger a liberal, you just say, oh my God, Donald Trump's giving tax breaks to billionaires. And the next thing you know, they're completely triggered. Like, for some reason, these liberals just hate billionaires, right? You know, if you're doing the whole narrative of, oh my God, billionaires are just the worst people, and we don't need billionaires, and they just need to be taxed to hell, you're basically just saying that you have no confidence in yourself to ever become like a rich person or succeed in life. You know what I'm saying? Because you've just resigned yourself to the fact that you could never get to that position, so you just want to bring that position down and try to destroy it as much as possible because you know that you're never getting there, right? You're probably never even going to get to a point where you're very successful if you're speaking those types of things. But yeah, we all know Joy Behar is going to be paying her taxes. I mean, she's still making a ton of money, I'm sure, on The View. I'm sure she's pulling in a pretty good amount every year that she's got to pay taxes on. So we'll see when tax season comes, Joy, if you're still singing the same tune. But yeah, I don't think so. I don't think you think she thinks that either. So, yeah. Joy, quit spouting off like that. You know, just fall in line like the rest of the people who, you know, pay their stupid taxes and nobody wants to pay taxes. Let's be real. But, yeah, Joy's paying her taxes. All right, let's get to the next topic here. Americans aren't worried about climate change, according to CNN. Go ahead, roll the clip.
Are Americans afraid of climate change? And the answer is Americans aren't afraid of climate change. Climate activists have not successfully made the case to the American people. I want you to take a look here. Greatly worried about climate change. We have data going all the way back since 1989. Look at that. It was 35%, 2000, 40%, 2020, 46%, and 2025, 40%, which is the exact same percentage as back in 2000. Despite all of these horrible weather events, the percentage of Americans who are greatly worried about climate change has stayed pretty gosh darn consistent, which kind of boggles the mind a little bit. Granted, everything that we see on our television screens, our computer screens, the hurricanes, tornadoes, the flooding, but yet greatly worried about climate change, 40% in 2025. The exact same percentage as back in 2000.
Yeah, so go ahead and let me know if you're worried about climate change. It's just all completely made up to scare people, you know. It's all unquantifiable threats, too. Like, oh, the atmosphere is getting hotter, or blah, oh, the ice caps are melting, or, oh my God, Antarctica's receding. You know, it's all, nobody knows and nobody can quantify it. It's just all fake news that they're trying to spread and let you know that, like, oh my God, the world's coming to an end so we can somehow control you even more. You know, that's climate change is just a complete control mechanism to keep people scared because it's basically invisible, right? Oh, it's super hot this summer. Oh, and then all of a sudden we have insane rains during the winter, you know, or oh my God, we have an Arctic blast this winter that we haven't seen in 300 years. You know, it's just anybody spitting the whole climate change narrative, you know, is just bought and sold somewhere down the line, and they're just spreading the fear narrative that's trying to get all the people who just like want to be, you know, scared into this. There's just so many people out there who want to be terrified that something's going to happen to them, so they have like a reason to be a victim, you know, like, well, something's going to happen to me because of, you know, climate change, and people they have to drive their gas guzzlers, and oh my God, it's killing me, you know, those are the people out there that try to push this stuff. The people that just need to be terrified so they can be a victim. And it's like, that's what's really driving the whole climate change narrative. And there's people who are bought and sold and people making a ton of money behind the scenes. But that's it, right? Normal people who just want to live their lives, they don't even think of climate change. They're not afraid of climate change. They never want to hear the word climate change ever again, right? It's just hilarious. So, you know, they try to push it on people and just nobody's having it because nobody can see anything actually changing. And that's how it's always going to be, folks. That's just how the world works. It gets hot. It gets cold. It rains a little bit. That's just the world, folks. That's just the way the world works. But all right, that's it for today. Be sure to like, subscribe, and we'll be seeing you.